This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.
Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. Ladies and gentlemen, I got my voice back, and I'm glad to be back. I had to miss yesterday. I really wanted to get on last night. I wanted to be back. I mean, not back. I wanted to be on. I wanted to do a show because, the Knicks with a big win over Philadelphia. But, I was traveling with the basketball team. I just was not able. I wasn't able to do the game preview because we left early and we didn't get home until 12:30 at night. So, had to miss yesterday, man. Exciting win, though. I did watch the game. You know what I mean? I watched the game later on that night and all of that. Great basketball game. A lot of thoughts going through my head about this basketball team. I want to see what they're going to do tonight. And then tomorrow, I really want to break down all the thoughts I got going on in my head. But I got my man Tony here, who's having some camera issues. You know what I mean? But he'll get those worked out in due time. So right now, we just got Tony's voice. Tony, what's poppin' with you, brother? How you feeling?
What's good, Sim? Shout out to the chat. You went from no voice and now, look, they can't see me.
You know what I mean?
What's going on, man?
Right. Excuse me. You can see I still got a little bit of a cold there. Still coughing a little bit. You know what I mean? But we good to go. I guess let's just start with talking about last night's game.
What a game.
You know what I mean?
I rewatched it twice, Sim. I rewatched it twice. So, best win of the season. I know from my first time watching it, Randall didn't have a great game, but after watching it twice, that might have been the most engaged defensively that I've seen him all year long. So shout out to him for that aspect. Brunson doing Brunson things again. It feels like every talking point that we've had throughout the year is almost like the Knicks are watching, right? Because they come back and they respond. We've been talking about the bench and needing to booster up the bench. Bench scored 49 points.
Right.
We've been talking about Deuce. You know what I mean? Maybe getting a surefire backup point guard, comes in, career game, career quarter, 4 threes in the first quarter.
Right.
Really stabilized us in that first quarter to go on the run that we did.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Deuce came in that first quarter and hit 4 threes in the first quarter.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? What can you say? 19 points from Grimes, 15 from Deuce. Josh Hart gave you 10 points and 15 rebounds. The bench stepped up and did their thing. You know what I mean? And I think maybe it was the pregame. They were talking about how the Knicks will miss Emmanuel quickly and they won't get a boost off the bench. And then, Deuce comes in and says, okay, hold my beer. Let me show you this. You know what I mean? And it was nice to see. When I finally was able to turn the game on, it was the middle of the first quarter, maybe. No, when I finally turned the game on, the Knicks were down in the first quarter by 9 or 10 points.
Mm-hmm.
Then they started coming back. And then I was kind of in and out because I had to, I was paying attention to the young men that were playing on the court. And then I looked and I see the Knicks up by like 13 and Randall had 2 points. He was at the foul line, had 2 points. I was like, oh, okay. That's great. You know what I'm saying? Randall got 2 points, the Knicks up 13. And Randall never got it going offensively. And the Knicks lead just kept growing. Next thing you know, it looked like it was, at some point close to a 40-point lead.
I think Deuce was a point plus 39. I
Yeah,
think he had the
plus
highest plus minus.
no, actually Grimes had no,
oh,
Josh Hart had the highest plus minus 46.
oh wow, I missed that one.
Yeah, and then
Holy
Quentin
crap.
Grimes was 37. Hartenstein was 26. OG Anunoby and Deuce they were both 20. Looking at the plus minus, but yeah, man, the Knicks played a beautiful basketball game last night against Philadelphia, against one of the best defenses in the league. They shot 48% from the field. They shot basically 44% from the 3-point line, 18 for 41. 27 assists last night for the Knicks. They held Philadelphia to 40.7% shooting, 26% shooting from the 3-point line. Just a great game for the Knicks last night.
You got the fast break points.
Fast break points. I know at halftime the Knicks had like 23 fast break points. Yeah, they ended up with 33 fast break points.
33 fast break points from the Knicks.
From the Knicks.
Mm.
From the Knicks. Just a great game overall. And it made me ask the question, is this, obviously they're not going to win by this big of a margin over everybody, and especially over really good teams. They're not always going to win by that big of a margin. But the type of defense that we're seeing matched with the offense that we seen last night, is this what we can expect from this team going forward? Is this who they are? And are they, did they really get that much better by this trade? With the spacing that's on the floor. You heard the telecast, last night talk so much about the spacing and obviously the defense that's been added with OG Anunoby. What do you think, Tony? I mean, is the team this much better? Or was it a hot shooting night from the Knicks and a bad shooting night from Philadelphia?
The game in general, or the streak? Because I think the streak is real. You know what I mean? Now, last night in general, you know what I mean? Like, does this mean we could beat Philly in a 7-game series? I think it gives us confidence too, but I wouldn't think this makes us the favorites. You know what I mean? Like, I think there was some missed opportunities on their end, but I'm not taking nothing away from the Knicks. Like, we played a hell of a game. We shot the ball way better than a normal day-to-day situation.
Right.
So that, I think that was the outlier. We just shot the ball tremendously. You know what I mean? And but we've been a good 3-point shooting team all year.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's not like we've been bad and then we just had this great game.
Yeah.
I
mean,
I look for more of this, but not at that clip. You know what I mean? Like, we
okay.
was on.
I mean, they shot the ball. I mean, we've seen them shoot the ball like this before, right? They've shot 48% from the field and 42% from three or better, right? We've seen them do that. But not necessarily from the guys who did it,
Mm-hmm.
right? Deuce, Grimes, not necessarily those guys. I guess my question is, have the Knicks elevated themselves to top 3 or 4?
I feel like it's an uphill battle, but yes, you know what I mean. Like, it's you know what I mean. We're not there because of where we've been earlier in the year, but I feel like we're gonna trend there by the end of the year.
Okay.
Only it feels like OG's having the same type of impact Hart did. You know what I mean? Remember Hart came and it was like, oh, are we gonna lose a game? You know what I mean? After this trade,
Right.
oh, remember the just the final record of once we got Derrick Rose and how we ended that season on that run. These guys, I mean, you got to give it to them. These guys make moves, and the results show immediately. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, no doubt about that.
it's perfect timing to get them too. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Right when we get back home after the long road trip, and I mean we was on the road most of the season. So to that point, Now we home for a stretch. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I mean, they make their moves have been very, very calculated, not just because move, or this guy's got this name or that name. All of their moves have been very, very calculated. Um, and, they've set themselves up now for obviously that big one. What's the big one? That's the next question by everybody. I think everyone's looking at the team now, probably saying, okay, you got some pieces. You need that one more piece. Now, I've spoken to several people that have said maybe we should just hold tight for a second and see what happens with this group before we make another move. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I think I'm gonna sound like Josh here. We have to trade for. We gotta move 4 years contract. I guess the way I'm looking at it is we can't we can't um we can't afford to let him walk. I mean, again, the same thing Josh been saying, and so are we using that? Are we picking up his option and then holding on to that to use next year or in the off season? You know what I mean? So that's the only reason why I wouldn't. I would say make this move now
Mm-hmm.
because I think the move that we make, and again, this is not the final move. I think this is again a move to make us better, but also give us the leverage to make the next move down the line because the big fish I don't think becomes available this year. You know what I mean? So, but you got to you got to put yourself in position to make that move at the time when the time arises.
Right. So,
So
but if you're not using Fournier makes 19 this season, if you can't find a way to move him this season, then I mean, what do you do?
then you have to pick up the option, in my opinion. Excuse me, because it's not like if he walks, we have an extra 19 million in cap space.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you got to be able to absorb something, even if you got to take on um another bad contract. I'm gonna say that in air quotes. You can't see me, but another bad contract that has one more year, just to extend that. You know what I mean? You having that movable asset
Right.
or that movable.
I guess it all
So
depends on
so that's the only reason I
what the
wouldn't want to stay put.
I guess it depends on what the salary cap comes in next year. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
Because right now the Knicks, and I'm assuming it doesn't include. I don't know. I'd have to add it up. Right now for next season, the Knicks are at 134 million, and I believe that does not include Evan Fournier's contract. So I don't know. I'd have to add it up and see and I'd have to add it up and see. I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure. Because what I'm looking at doesn't really have the updated salary cap with OG Anunoby added in. I don't know. I'm pretty sure the Knicks are going to be trying to wheel and deal that contract by the trade deadline, though. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the best move they can make is finding a way to deal it by the trade deadline so that they don't have to worry about it going into next season. Right? He's not dead money, dead weight, dead money. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
You know what I mean? That's definitely going to be the best move. I don't know if it necessarily has to be the big guy. You know what I mean? It could be bench help or anything like that, or maybe, some kind of off-brand move with some team that has salary cap space. Who knows? You know what I mean? That sets you up, like you said, for the future. But this front office they've been smart in the way that they've made moves. Evan Fournier, maybe, I don't want to say maybe, wasn't their best move. We'll see if they can correct it. Right. Plus, they got draft picks, and they can't. Like I think Kevin just said in the chat, you're not using all those draft picks. Those they're not playing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so a move definitely could and should be made by the Knicks. But the Knicks have a chance to go on a 4-game win streak. That would be the longest of the season, right?
Yes, sir.
If they can beat the Wizards tonight, the last time the Knicks played the Wizards, they beat them by 30 or more. The Wizards just aren't a very good basketball team this season. And I'm expecting the Knicks to get a win tonight. I don't want it to be a trap game, though. You know, you come off of a big win against Philadelphia. You're feeling good about yourself. You know, there are some things you could be nervous about. Julius Randle, after having a bunch of really, really good games in a row, had a bad game. Hopefully that doesn't continue tonight. You know what I'm saying? So far from what we've seen this season, Deuce shooting that way is a one-off. Quentin Grimes shooting that way is a one-off. Right? So do you expect a tough game tonight? Do you expect any kind of emotional letdown from the Knicks? Do you think it's, you know, do you feel like they could fall into a trap game, or do you expect the Knicks to come out and take care of business?
Nah, man, we gotta take care of business. I think this is a perfect way to respond to our worst losing streak of the season and make this, you know, follow that with the biggest win streak of the season. So, yeah, I think we on to something. You know what I mean? I think the confidence is at an all-time high. I think again, Tibbs has been preaching it, and then the players have been preaching it. You know what I mean? One game at a time. So they're not overlooking this one. You know what I mean? They not yeah, I think we good to go. I think so. I mean, I'm sure of it actually. No thinking.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and Josh said, looks like the OG trade made us better. Wouldn't you say, Sim? I'd say definitely. It looks like it has made us better. Without a doubt, it looks like it. You know, over the last 3 games, you know what I mean? And you know, you look at us last night, you know, there's some one-off things that, you know, players performing that we didn't expect, but that happens on a nightly basis around the league, players performing that you don't expect. Definitely looks like it made us better. And like I said, you know, I wanted to see, did it make us better now? I didn't want it to make us better when we got so-and-so or so-and-so. I wanted it to make us better now, and it did. You know what I mean? And it did. It made us better. You know, so I'm very, very happy about that. Because I was skeptical, but, you know, it made us better. Can't argue with that at all.
I got a question. I mean, I know we saying like Deuce is a one-off, but how does it, what do you think it does for him, his confidence? You know what I mean? Moving forward. And you know what I mean? Because that could be the game changer right there.
Right.
You know what I mean? That could be the game changer right there. To have this performance against this team, you know what I mean? Like, means a lot.
Yeah, and not only definitely his confidence, and then also his teammates' confidence in him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And feeling like, okay, Deuce is going to knock those shots down. And you can see, you know, all of a sudden, you know, Deuce, he hit like 2 or 3 of them in a row. And then now I seen him dribbling, trying to get to the basket. I was like, okay, you know, he didn't go anywhere far, but he tried it. You know, so hopefully, you know, it does definitely boost his confidence, makes him more comfortable, and makes his teammates more comfortable in him. You know what I mean? And then if he don't got to provide you 15, you know, but if he can give you 8 to 10, and then somebody else can, you know, chip in another, you know, Grimes can up his points per game 5 points, you know, now you make up that difference. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you know, let's see if that can happen. Let me get you a phone call real quick. Caller, you're live. Name and where you're from, please.
Salute. JJ from Brooklyn. How you guys doing?
JJ,
Tony.
What's
Glad
poppin'
your
with
voice
you?
is back, man.
Yeah.
Sounding much better, huh?
Thank you. It's not fully back. It's not fully back.
Yeah, yeah,
And you know, I was
yeah.
in my game last night. You know, I still, you know, you got to yell when you're a coach, and I was struggling with it.
Right.
I was struggling with it.
Sounding like Tibbs out there, huh?
Yeah, I sounded worse than Tiz probably, but yeah, I was definitely struggling with it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I agree with you, Sim. You know, when you have a big emotional win like that, you always do worry about the letdown trap game. But I think we should wait, man. Maybe we'll start slow, you know, but I think Washington's just, you know, I don't know what's gotten into Poole. I figure this guy's going to drop 26 a game, you know, his own team basically, and he's just checked out. I think last night he had like 1 point or 2 points. He's just, I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
I expect, I don't know what's going on with Poole, man. Jesus.
well, I mean, you know, it becomes different when you have Steph Curry and those guys around you, and you don't have to be the focal point, and you can kind of
Right, right.
get yours in the wings. It's very different when you become the guy or one of the
Yeah.
top two. Now all the defenses are focusing on you. It changes.
Right, right.
It changes.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Randall's going to, because I believe Kuzma, at least last time I checked, Kuzma was actually ahead of Randall for some strange reason in the All-Star voting. So I think Randall's going to take that personally. He might go for 40 tonight,
Huh.
you know.
He was ahead of Randall in the All-Star voting?
Yeah, I
Okay.
checked the last time I checked, like I think it was like a day or two ago. Yeah, Randall was like 8th or 9th in forward voting. I mean, we got to go up. We got to vote, Knicks fans. Come on, what are we doing? We got to vote Randall and Brunson. I don't know why we're not voting. I don't know. We're being lazy. Come on.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's those Lakers
So-
fans, I guess.
Right?
That's those Lakers fans
Yeah.
for whatever reason. You know, they didn't grow the same attachment probably to Randall as they did to Kuzma, I guess.
Yeah.
Kuzma-
right.
Kuzma
yeah,
won a championship
You know,
with
the
him,
kids
right?
see him out there. It's fashion and all that. They get
Yeah,
attached
you
to
know.
that type of stuff for some reason.
And Kuzma won a championship with the Lakers, right?
Did he? I'm not sure, actually. I'm not sure.
I thought he did. I thought he was on that championship team.
might be-
Maybe I'm wrong.
You might be right. I'm not sure.
I thought he did.
I feel like he was the last to get traded, so you might be right, son.
Yeah, I thought he did.
But
yeah.
now I'm trying to figure out who did he get traded for, because that'll determine it. That'll, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I can't
That'll help me
remember.
remember.
Yeah. But, you know, hopefully Randall does have a bounce back game tonight.
Yeah, I think he
You know?
should.
I mean, he was due
think
to
he
have a
should.
bad game,
Yeah.
right? He was due to have a bad one.
Yeah.
You know, so hopefully he can bounce back tonight and there's
I
no
mean,
kind of layover.
that's a sign of a good team, man. You're one of your top guys, 1 for 11, 4 or 5 turnovers, and you still blow out a top team.
Right.
You know, that Ben steps up, Deuce in the first half, and then Grimes having a great fourth quarter. And that's a good sign, man.
Right.
That's big.
I mean, what's that say to you about
know,
this team that they
big.
blew out the Los Angeles Lakers, the Philadelphia 76ers, right? They blew them out.
That's crazy.
You know, I mean, does it change your look with this team? Does it change your perspective on this team right now?
I gotta say, yeah. I mean, am I totally sold that means that we would beat them if we meet in the playoffs? You know, there's still a lot to be determined with that, but you got to be a little more hopeful than you were. I am, you know. I was saying, I don't know if we could beat it, you know, but when you blow out a team like that, when one of your top 2 guns has a terrible game, I mean, am I expecting that from the bench every game? I think they have the skill, the potential to do it. It's just about being consistent, you know. If the bench could play like that, then I would definitely say we could even go toe-to-toe with Philly in the playoffs.
Well,
you know, I think Grimes and Deuce are seeing, hey, you know, Knicks need this point guard in the trade market or this shooting guard. They might say, hey, wait a minute, you know, don't forget about us. We could do the damn thing too.
Exactly. Well, the Knicks, they beat Philadelphia. They beat Milwaukee. Now they got to beat Boston.
Yeah, exactly. That's the two. Yeah.
Right.
100%.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
got to beat Boston.
Right.
So far, they're 1-0 versus Philly. They're 0-3 versus Boston, or 0-3 versus
Oh, and
Boston.
3. Yep. Yep.
All right, so got to get a win
Yeah.
versus Boston, and they're 1-3 versus Milwaukee.
Milwaukee. Right.
They play Milwaukee once more. They play Boston twice more.
Even if you beat Boston once out of 5, at least it's like, all right, we beat them once. You know, we kind of maybe we know what to do. You know, at least you don't want that mentality. You know, 0-5, and so you meet them in the playoffs. It's like, oh, we got to play these guys. We couldn't even beat them one time.
Yeah.
You know, even if you win once, it just gives you, it gives you a little better feel.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
more confidence.
definitely excited to see the Boston matchup because
for sure.
I like the defensive matchups better now.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I like
gotta
those
say real
defensive
quick,
matchups
OG.
better.
I gotta say with OG, man, I know people get on him because there's games. Is he that totally polished yet? Is he like a given for 20 to 25 every night? No. So I know there's going to be times where fans may get frustrated, but listen, with OG, you have to just watch him to just appreciate what he does. Yeah, he's not always going to light up the box score, but you have to just watch every play to just appreciate what he does, man. Like he could impact the game with scoring 5, 6, 7 points.
Yeah.
He's just that type of player.
Yeah. No doubt about that. No doubt about that.
So
JJ.
he's been a seamless fit for sure.
Yeah, JJ, I appreciate the time, man. Thank you for the call.
Appreciate it, man. Absolutely. You guys have a good rest of the weekend, man. Enjoy the game.
You do so as well. Be safe out there with the weather, man.
You too. Yeah,
No doubt.
yeah.
Be safe.
You too, man.
All right, peace.
Peace.
Ladies and gentlemen, please make sure you support the channel. As you know, the channel has been demonetized, so you can support us by hitting that Cash App. Cash App is $ nothing but Knicks, or PayPal is paypal.me/nothing but Knicks, and that information is in the description of the video. It's also pinned to the top of your YouTube chat. So let's talk about tonight's game at 7 o'clock. The Knicks play the Washington Wizards. I had planned on going to the game, but, my voice is better, but I'm still not feeling as great. The weather is nasty, so I decided I'm just going to chill home and watch the game from home. Might as well. So let's talk about the injury report for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. All right.
Knicks and Bruises injury report.
The Knicks and Bruises injury report. Yeah, word up. The Knicks and Bruises injury report. For the Knicks, you already know Mitchell Robinson is out. For the Washington Wizards, for the most part, they're healthy. Landry Shamet is out with a left hamstring soreness. Other than that, both teams are fully equipped. And so for the New York Knicks, you got Jalen Brunson, Dante DiVincenzo, OG Anunoby, Julius Randle, and Isaiah Hartenstein. And for the Washington Wizards, you got Tyus Jones, Jordan Poole, Danny Avdija, Kyle Kuzma, and Daniel Gafford. What are your thoughts on these matchups, Tony?
Well, it's crazy. Well, my question would be: is this another audition game? Right? We talked about that with the Bulls, and now we got Kyle Kuzma, who's come up with, could he help us in the bench or in the starting unit? Galford, we talked about him potentially being a pickup as a center, and recently there's been talks of Tyus Jones going back to that backup role where he was probably one of the best backups in the league behind John Morant. Just an interesting dynamic. But matchup wise, I guess the intriguing one for me is actually DiVincenzo, Jordan Poole. Poole has the ability to go off, even though he's not having the year that he was projected to have. And Kuzma, Randle, I expect Randle to have a bounce back game. Kuzma's been pretty solid this year. They got history with the Lakers. I think they'll go at each other and kind of have a friendly but personal competition. But all in all, man, I think we should knock these guys out. Take them out early.
Yeah, we should, and we need to take them out early. When you look at, I mean, when you look at the matchups, honestly, the way you see it on your screen is probably who's going to match up.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Brunson and Tyus Jones, they probably guard each other. DiVincenzo and Jordan Poole, OG and Denny, Randall and Kuzma, Hartenstein and Daniel Gafford. Unless you're going to put OG on Kuzma or Jordan Poole, you could do that. But,
Yeah.
Denny can score too, right? I mean, you could put Randall on Denny and OG on Kuzma. You could go that way if you wanted to switch some things around. I mean, I'm looking at the matchups. If there was going to be a change, that's what I would do, right? Keep Randall away from, not keep him away from Kuzma, but, you reserve his fouls, Randall.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Instead of having to deal with Kuzma. And then you have OG on Kuzma, who's, a better defender than Randall. Then Denny, what you got to worry about with Denny is, Randall on the closeouts and, closing out on the three and stuff like that. But either way, those two guys can switch on and off if they need to.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you. I think that makes the most sense. My only concern is I think if Randall's on Kuzma, he stays engaged defensively. If Randall's on Avia, now he might lack a little bit of that fire defensively. You know what I mean?
Right.
And get burnt a little bit more often. But what you're saying makes perfect sense. You know what I mean? Like, so I would just urge that he stays engaged. You know what I mean? Don't let this guy don't lose his attention and then he goes off because you're not focused.
Because you're not on your game. Right. Nah, no doubt about that. Because I could definitely see that happening. And I agree, right? Randall probably stays more engaged. I don't know if Tom Thibodeau looks at it like that, though, right? Does Tom Thibodeau see that, well, he's going to stay more engaged on Kyle than on Denny, so let's keep him there. And then, OG's going to do his job on Denny. You know what I'm saying? In Tom Thibodeau's brain, he's going to be like, well, he should be engaged anyway. Put him on Denny.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep. And the great thing is, OG, you could put him on Kuz or Poole, whoever's going off. You know what I mean? If one of these guys decide to have get off to a hot start, you know what I mean? You could always switch OG onto that particular guy.
Right.
And then rearrange things.
Right. Big shout out to my guy, Silk Sutton. Thank you for the Cash App, and I'll have it up here in just a second. As soon as I take OG's shoot around down. There it is. Big shout out to Silk. Thank you for the Cash App. He said, told you, Sam, get Hart away from the power forward, and you get Hart numbers. You believe in that, Tony?
Say that, get Hart away from yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Again, he already was playing up as that's who he is, right? But to put him in that position, like now you just you taking away his advantage, you taking away his leverage, put him back at that small forward spot. Like I said, I think his best minutes are alongside Randall, all year and last year as well. He gets to play in his natural position. So yeah, I agree.
But how did it impact him offensively? Because he can still play the same.
It may just take the strain. Like he got to work harder defensively and maybe taken away from, you know what I mean, his energy on the offensive end.
Oh, that's true. I can get that. That's true. I can see that. Looking at the bench units, speaking of Josh Hart, let me get my lineups over there. For the Knicks, Deuce McBride, Quentin Grimes, Josh Hart. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out the whole rotation. Randall, OG, sometimes JB is back in playing some with the second unit guys as they shuffle through the lineup. Then you got Precious, right? For the Washington Wizards, you got Bilal Coulibaly, Dalen Wright, Corey Kispert, Mike Muscala, and then however they fill in for that center position. Looking at the two benches, your expectations as far as the benches are concerned?
Expectations. I'll tell you what I'm hoping. I'm hoping Grimes and McBride continue to show this type of improvement, confidence, and shot making ability. Because I mean, again, this is 2 games in a row though. The bench gave us 40 plus points. You know what I mean? So I think, can they continue it? I'm not concerned with Hart. I like whatever rotation we go with, whether it's Brunson playing with the second unit, Randall or OG. And I want to see more from Precious. I think he had a quietly solid game last night as well. Showed the range, hit a 3. You know what I mean? It's active defensively. Yeah, I think I'll give the advantage Knicks for sure. Kispert is maybe the only guy I'm really think that could have have a spark for them.
Yeah, Corey Kispert. Coulibaly, he's good defensively, and he might be able to have a little bit of a spark every now and again. He's their rookie, young guy, 6'8", but he can play.
Oh, he's 6'8"?
I think he's 6'8", yeah.
Okay. 6'8" point guard?
Yeah. He can play. The kid can play. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, the kid can play. The last time that the Knicks played against the Washington Wizards, the Knicks, they killed them. They beat them 120-99. The Knicks shot 49.5% from the field. They shot 42.1% from 3. 26 assists for the Knicks. The Wizards, the Knicks out-rebounded them 48-32. The Wizards had 99 points, 25 assists. They shot 45% from the field, 31% from 3. They shot 94% from the free throw line. But the Knicks, for the most part, dominated that basketball game. I do expect the Knicks to do it again tonight. The only thing that scares me is that the Knicks, because they blew them out, I just don't want them to take them for granted. Shouldn't take any NBA team for granted. And because they blew them out last time and now they blew out Philadelphia, it might be on their mind like, okay, like they're riding high. You know what I'm saying? Riding high. And I just, I want the Knicks to stay focused.
Have we fell for a trap game all year?
What about Utah? I don't know if that was a trap game, but that's a game that I think we were supposed to win. Right? That
I remember.
At the beginning of the road trip, beginning of that West Coast road trip. It's the only one that I can think of that we could possibly consider a trap game that we.
That was off a back-to-back too, right?
Was it? I don't remember. Maybe.
We had so many of them, right?
Right. We had 1 million back-to-backs. So, I think this team is focused. For the most part this season, they've been able to beat teams that they're supposed to beat. And I think they will go ahead and continue to do just that. I think they'll get this win tonight. It could be a win that's a little bit tougher than you expect, but I think they pull it out. The reason why I say that is because it's on a back-to-back. You know what I mean? It's on a back-to-back. The starters didn't have to play like crazy minutes last night because it was a blowout, but actually, to tell you the truth, they still did play down the stretch of the game. You know what I mean? It was I don't know. I remember, looking at it and they were talking about and asking when he was going to pull certain players out the game. And then finally, Philly threw up the white flag. And
Hey, Sam, Dwayne Dennis said, what's up with the audio? I don't know if you could see
I
anything
seen
on
it.
your end. Okay.
He's the only person that's said anything. I don't know. I mean, my levels seem to be coming through fine over here. I'm looking at the levels now. So I'll listen back to it.
Mine is good too.
Yep. I'll listen
All right.
back to it and and see. And if it's something I can adjust, but I'm not gonna be able to do it now. Yep. Not gonna be able to do it now. I think so for today, Dwayne, I appreciate the feedback. You might just have to turn it up in your headphones a little bit more if you can. You know what I mean? What are your keys to tonight's game?
I mean, it's like a broken record. Rebounding, turnovers.
Right.
I'm gonna go with bench points again, back to back. You know what I mean? Like, let's. I mean, maybe the starters tonight. Actually, the bench did their job last night. Maybe the starters got it. I'll say get off to a good start. Let's do that. Get off to a good start. That'll set the tone. You know what I mean? You get them off their game early. Maybe they fold and it becomes a easy game down. You know what I mean? For the duration.
Right.
So let's say get off to a good start, but then those overall rebound the ball, low turnovers, the things the Knicks do, keep doing the Knicks things.
Right.
Those things keep you in position even when you're not shooting well. So, but yeah, let's say get off to a good start.
Yeah, and for me, I think just the big thing is don't read the newspaper clips. You know what I'm saying? Don't listen to what the fans are saying. If there's fans out there saying, "Oh my gosh, this team championship contention," and all, don't listen to none of that. Stay. Just stay focused on the task at hand because I don't want them to underestimate this team. Because remember in preseason, and it was preseason, right? But remember in preseason, they dropped some buckets on us. The Wizards did. You know what I mean? So I just don't want the Knicks to underestimate them.
Mr. I hate New York, Gilbert Arenas was on record talking about he was gonna lead the league in scoring. He's gonna average 35 after that game, after that preseason game.
Right. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Because listen, but this is a team. For the season, they're shooting 47.9% from the field. They shoot 35% from three, which is, it's okay. Right? They average 115 points per game. You know what I mean? So they didn't shoot their averages against the Knicks the first time. Maybe they will, maybe they won't this time, and their defense is not very good. But I don't want to get into a shooting match with them. Although the Knicks have shown that they can shoot the ball, the Knicks are shooting 46.6% from the field, 37.8% from three themselves. But I want the Knicks to shut them down defensively and then play well offensively. You know what I mean? And not give them much confidence. This is the best shooting we've seen from this Knicks team under Tom Thibodeau since he's been the coach. You know what I mean? The best shooting we've seen from him. So, that's definitely a good thing. But I just don't want to underestimate this team. That's my biggest
defend the three.
Key. Defend the three. Yeah, I mean, they shoot 35%, but definitely defend the three. You know what I mean? Keep that perimeter defense. OG's helped with the perimeter defense. Keep that perimeter defense intact. Get out in transition. I think last night might be a little bit of an anomaly as far as the transition defense. That's the Knicks definitely attacked one of Philadelphia's weaknesses. I don't know if I'm expecting them to do that much transition every single night. but get out in transition when you can and capitalize on any turnovers that they might make. You know what I mean? And listen, we know that their defense isn't that good. Got to capitalize on that as well. Move the ball, score efficiently from the field, and I think we should be good. Yep, I think we should be good. Your prediction for tonight?
Another win. We get that longest win streak of the season, and keep building on where we at with this first move that we made with OG's addition.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got this.
Yeah, I'm with it. I think we win tonight.
Oh no, Josh said we're gonna win.
Oh, Josh, what are you doing? Josh about to set us up. If we lose tonight, and we get back in the chat, you got to throw tomatoes at Josh. Everybody just throw a million tomatoes at Josh. But if the Knicks win tonight, they play the Trailblazers on Tuesday. I mean, that's it's a little bit of a lighter schedule. They play the Blazers on Tuesday. Then they play the Mavs on January 11th. The Grizzlies, that may not be as light now that Ja Morant is back. They get a chance to get the Magic back on Monday the 15th. Play the Rockets. That's not as light. I mean, it's still a challenging schedule, but a schedule that the Knicks can be successful in as well. That Magic game is going to be tough, though.
Revenge.
Yeah, no doubt about it. But this, the schedule lightens up. The Knicks have had a brutal schedule for a good portion of the season. Not just the teams that they've played, but the travel schedule, the back-to-backs. It's been tough. Tough schedule. And they've still come out of it 20-15. Now it lightens up. You know what I mean? Let's see if they can start to, what Brunson say, stack some wins. See if we can stack them.
That's what he said.
See if we can stack them.
I just want to highlight the Knicks continue to be undefeated going into the fourth quarter with the lead, and continue to be, to my belief, because I still haven't researched it, but when they score 100 points first, they are also undefeated. That one's off the top of my head, but I think when we score 100 first, we're undefeated as well. So
okay,
that's something to, it's very meaningful, especially that fourth quarter one going in with the lead. We haven't blown a fourth quarter lead yet, and I think it's like 14-0 or something like that. It might even be 15, because I remember, it was 13-0 a couple games ago. So yeah, that's a big stat that we haven't really, broke down and discussed. But hopefully we continue that trend.
Yeah. All right. Let's keep it going, man. Let's keep it going. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna head off. All right. I thank you for your time. We got like 397 people here. Please, all of you, hit the like button. All right, so we can get 397 likes on the video. All right, if you feel it, we got 404 now.
Okay.
Go ahead and hit those like buttons, ladies and gentlemen. You can also support the channel. For those who don't know, the channel has been demonetized. A lot of people ask why. I still don't have answers why from YouTube. They say that I have reused content. I don't understand it. But later on this month, I will be applying for remonetization. So, we'll see what happens there. But you can support the channel by going to Cash App. The Cash App is $ nothing but Knicks, or through PayPal. And that information is paypal.me/nothing but Knicks. The information is in the description of the video. It's also tagged to the top of your YouTube chat. Other ways you can support the channel: by sharing it, by hitting the like button. You can also go check out these Jalen Brunson Captain Clutch jerseys. I always say jerseys. I don't know why. T-shirts and hoodies, ladies and gentlemen. you can go check them out. They've been a hot item. During Christmas, getting the hoodies. It was a little bit of a longer process because there were people getting the hoodies, but now, you should be good. So please make sure you go check it out. What was you about to say, Tony?
I was gonna say you might as well just make some jerseys up too. You know what I mean? Talk to print, get some jerseys up. And
You know what I mean?
I think that's why you keep saying it. It's you know what I mean?
Maybe so.
It's coming.
Maybe so. But ladies and gentlemen, you can check them out. These are what the hoodies look like. You got hoodies and you got T-shirts. All right, Captain Clutch from NBK Comics. You get it exclusively from Print Jurisdiction. No place else. The link is also in the description of the video. It's also pinned to the top of your YouTube chat. So make sure you go check them out, ladies and gentlemen. Captain Clutch, hoodies, premium T-shirts. All right, but folks, we're going to get up out of here. I will catch you tonight on a post-game show. All right? We appreciate your time. And who knows, we might even be jumping out and doing something before the game comes on. Me and Tony. So we might be back. So just keep your notifications checked. All right? But we're out of here, folks. Be easy, and we'll definitely catch you on the post-game show. Peace.
This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.